the heavy downpours tonight flooded streets and homes. Even some cars ended up underwater. You can see the water bubbling up through this storm drain near Barnes Road, just south of 217. Clearwater Services tells us that they saw about 24 calls for help in less than an hour tonight.
It's a level of intensity that the drainage system here just can't handle, and many of the systems were simply overwhelmed.
Clearwater Services tells us that they even heard from some people who were scared by how much water was coming down, but luckily there were no sewer overflows.
Also a lot of damage from flooding at the Winterhawk's practice facility in Beaverton tonight. The rain overpowered the drains on the property, flooding the entire place. Now, you're taking a live look inside as crews work to clean up. We found out the rink is unskateable now because the water either flooded or melted the ice, and they're also going to have to rip out the carpet and lockers, and they say replace everything. Kristen joins us now. Kristen, this is pretty rare. Temperatures were in the mid-70s, and it just started downpouring.
Oh, that's right. You could feel the moisture in the air, and basically it was a combination of things that led to these downpours. You had all this moisture to work with, basically at least a couple of inches worth of it in the air, and all you needed was that trigger, that low-pressure system passing to our south. And the problem is, as you had the slow winds aloft, the steering winds that push these storms along, well, basically these are at 5 miles an hour or less. So when these storms popped up, they just didn't go anywhere. They just stalled over these areas and dumped rain for over 2 hours. And in some areas, some of you picking up over 2 inches of rain. And so here's a look at some of the video, some of the flooding there. And you can see where that rain came down, 26 and 217. There was a weather sensor there that picked up 2.29 inches, that near Beaverton. Also up near Vancouver, just getting dumped with the rain. It's like it just kind of jumped from one area up to the north and east, and that's where we had almost 2 inches of rain. Radar estimates anywhere from 1.2 to 1.9 inches of rain. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this real quick and talk about some of the stats. You can see the debris there. Look how high the water level was earlier in some of these areas that saw the flooding, because it all came at once, and of course all that's receded now. But when you think about this, how much rain we got today, we're talking about amounts anywhere from 1.5 inches to nearly 2.5 inches near Beaverton, 2.29 inches. Well, typically we see anywhere from maybe 5/100ths of an inch. In fact, we only got 6/100ths of an inch at the airport today. The record was nearly 3/10ths of an inch. So we got a lot in a little amount of time, and that led to that flooding. Thankfully, things are slowing down, but there is more rain on the way. I'll track it all for you coming up in just a few minutes.